What does that thing have on it? Like a 23 millimeter, I think. The Russian BTR 60. I don't know offhand, but I'm thinking it's around that caliber. Still in that ultra cool camouflage pattern. Look at that. Waiting for some guns and knives to come out in this coloration. It's so cool. Russian BTR 60, 1/72nd scale. Why is it on the table for this watch review? Because it's awesome. That's why. And because I'm zoomed in on the table, which by the way is all greased up from gun reviews, of course. I got to get something small that fits. That's the answer to the question. There you go. And I cannot believe I don't charge for these videos. I don't. Still free. Hey, but you do Patreon. Sure I do. But that's totally voluntary. It's not charging. It's totally voluntary. By the way, you should join. That's the reason I keep cranking the videos out. Link below. Join, be happy. If you don't join, that's cool. Still love you. Thanks for clicking on the video. And this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 watches in one WRV. I can't believe I give this away. I'm insane. Nutnfancy, you should charge for this. Nah, I don't. I just give my video product away. We're talking Swiss watches here, by the way, and we're talking about Swiss watches that you can probably afford. Now, it's pretty funny. In past watch reviews, I've talked about how I will watch other reviewers who do watch reviews. Here's what's been going on lately, is I kind of don't anymore. And the reason is because, like I said in the other WRVs, I disagree with a lot of the stuff they're saying. Their aesthetic likes are so different than mine that I kind of lost interest. It's like, oh my gosh, he's reviewing another one of these watches, and it's so ugly. And oftentimes, it's a very expensive Swiss watch, and the reviewer is carrying water for the Swiss watch industry. I'm not going to mention names, but you could probably imagine who I'm talking about. And I don't do that. In other words, they think it's totally fine that the Swiss watch industry is overpriced, that it's okay if they charge $5,000, $6,000, $10,000, $20,000 or more for a watch, and they'll tell their viewers, hey, you just need to save up. Make it a life goal to go out and buy a $6,000 Swiss watch. I say, bullcrap. Just buy a Wengerr and be happy. The crux of my reviews, dudes, for watches is $300 or less, generally. I will always reserve the right to review a $500 watch. I do have a couple in inventory I need to get around to reviewing. Watch them quicker and they'll post quicker. But $300 gets you so much watch. And this one right here, the first in the series, again, it's going to be a 5-for-1. It's model number 72783. It is the Wengerr Terragraph in brown olive drab strap composite leather. We paid about 126 bucks for it. And it is technically a Swiss watch. Now, you can go find a lot of information of what constitutes, you know, that moniker, Swiss made, right? Is it really Swiss made? Well, it is Swiss made with a Swiss movement. It's actually set into the case in Switzerland, and the manufacturer is of Swiss origin, Wengerr. So does it have some foreign assistance in there somewhere? No doubt, for sure. But why do I need to go out and spend $6 grand on a watch when this will make me happy? Among all the other watches that I review. I mean, I don't waste time generally reviewing crap. It's really good stuff. So this is the first one we're going to look at in detail. Look at the face, the markings, the handset, the strap, the case, and all that. So that one was what model? Testing. Didn't know there's going to be a test there. 72783 Terragraph. Not sure if this and all these others are still going to be available because, again, I bought these watches probably about 1.5 years, 2 years ago. And it's been a while that I've had them. You'll see them in a lot of inset footage. I think I've gone shooting with this one multiple times. You might see some of that. I'll just throw that in there for visual interest for sure. If I can find an Amazon link for it, use it. It'll be below. This one here is the Wengerr, make sure I get it right, I think it is, 73115 standard issue. Something tells me you guys will like this one more. It's called the standard issue XL, strangely enough. 2.2 ounces, this one's 2 ounces. And yeah, we have more to go. I'm knocking these all out in one video because I just don't gratuitously make videos trying to get views. I don't. I probably should. I'm a doofus when it comes to managing YouTube for sure. This one might be my favorite. It is the Attitude series by Wengerr. It is dive proven in scuba dive operations. There is a little caveat to that I hope to remember to tell you about. And we have two variations to show you. The first, and I hope I'm getting this right, is the Attitude SKU number, make sure this is focusing, 01.0341.103. Don't worry about the numbers, they'll be below in the description. Yep, and then we have this one. I had to actually order this one overseas. It's a 01.1541.101. Wengerr Attitude. Very cool. Very cool. Look at that handset. Oh my gosh, that is so sick. And oh my gosh, this isn't a 5-for-1, it's a 6-for-1. Man, I'm stupid for not charging for these videos. What is, by the way, YouTube Red? Is that, I don't even know what it is. I told you I don't pay attention to YouTube. I honestly do not. I think that's something where people charge to watch videos or something. I don't know. I'm not doing it. I'm looking for something here and I can't find it. So we're just going to have to press on. This one is 71003, the Military Field. Oh my gosh, I like this one. The blue face Wengerr. By the way, this one is 41 by 10 by 48. So 41 millimeters. The case right here, 10 millimeters in thickness, lug to lug, 48, 2.2 ounces. They're all about the same weight, right around 2 ounces. This one was 120 bucks. No, I'm sorry, 100 bucks. Look at that case back. Oh my gosh. That is a reason right there to buy Wengerr watches. It's so sick. It's just amazing. I mean, it's just, if you like a SAC, a Swiss Army knife, this is kind of like the watch you'd pair it with. This one has 22 millimeter lugs, by the way, and the other ones I think have 20 mil lugs. Actually, the Attitudes have 22s. These are 20s right here. And one more, believe it or not, the value show continues. This is the Urban Classic 1041-104. Similar to that one for sure. Urban Classic, 41 millimeters case size, 10 millimeters thick, 48 millimeters lug to lug, 2.2 ounces, 100 bucks is what we paid for this. White face, textured face, look at that. And we have a dark brown leather strap with it, 22 millimeter lugs. Where to start with these watches? I kind of already did, and that is, it's the Swiss origin. So there is something second coolish about having a Swissish watch. People like it. Maybe not a $6,000 Swiss watch. You'll never see me wear one of those. I just can't do it unless it's just borrowed or something. Someone's like, hey, wear this IWC, wear this whatever watch, and maybe I'll try it then. But for me to spend that type of money on a watch, it ain't gonna happen. Philosophy of USO is known that you're wearing a Swiss product. A lot of guys like that. Some people don't like a Parnas. They don't like a Chinese made. They don't like a Casio. They want something European. Victorinox is equally awesome. I'm going to show you 3 watches previously reviewed. I think I've reviewed them. They're so excellent. And then Wengerr is another one. I think Wengerr does such an amazing job with value, quality, construction. It's really one of my all-time Hall of Fame brands that I'd recommend to you. I mean, look at these faces too. Look at how easily the time is read off all these watches. So excellent. I want to start with this blue one. It's 71003, the Military Field. More and more, I just want legible hands. Because, like I've told you guys before, let me get on the screen, I can show you. I'm pairing it with my wrist computer, an iWatch. This is not a watch, it's a wrist computer, but allows me to wear on the right wrist anything I want. Like this. And so now I don't need chronograph functions. I don't need, for that matter, even date functions, although these all have date on it. The Attitudes have day and date, and as it always turns out, the minutes hand is blocking it. Always. That is date. Legibility is insane though. The markers on this one are particularly awesome against the blue face. I just love blue faces. I am rather particular on my shades of blue though, and this one's perfect. Also, I love the Swiss emblem at the 12 o'clock position. Most of them will have it. The Attitudes do not. They have the Wengerr and logo in the face right there. I would prefer the hands to be totally white and covered with illumination. That would be perfect to me. I would love that. But you can't get everything in a watch. Every watch is going to have some quirks. My point is, less and less do I like shiny hands. Again, this is why I kind of quit watching those other watch channels, because everything they review, not everything, but a lot of what they review is like dressy or kind of a gentleman's watch, and I'm just like, no, not so much for that. This one is the Urban Classic. We'll take a look at this. Look at the textured face on this. I showed it to you briefly. Notice the military time in the inner dial, date again. It looks like an Orient in its face presentation to me. So it's got that beautiful texturing on the dial. Again, big Swiss cross, which is three-dimensional. I don't know if you can see that with the applied markers. Granted, the markers on this one are shiny. I'd prefer them to be pure black, but that's okay. I can deal with it. And then the chapter ring has 5-minute increments on it. Second hand, thankfully, is pure black. We do have illumination on both of the hands, the hour hands and the minutes hands. Just clean, just super clean. And another thing I like about these Wengerrs is they have super thin bezels. One of my pet peeves, as it has become, on dive watches is they have what's called a small face syndrome. Here's a perfect example right here, the Reactor. So it's a huge watch. This is one of those expensive watches I'm talking about. So, but look at how small the face is. And we'll just put it up against the Attitude. Look at the difference in face presentation between these two watches. This is exactly what I'm talking about. This is why more and more I like this. Something like that doesn't mean I hate this watch. I like it because every watch has quirks for sure. And taken in its entirety, this is a very cool watch. I can deal with the deep set. That is a plus on this watch. So it's very deep set face, deep chapter ring, orange coloration, very cool. But small face, that's what I kind of got going here, unfortunately. These won't have that problem. Legibility on this one is amazing. And this one's the Attitude, but I thought it had another name too. It's like, I don't know, the Urban Attitude. There's so many different names, I can't even tell you. I love the red seconds hand on this. Oh, that is so cool. In fact, this, of all the models on the table, I think these are my favorite hands on the Attitudes, because they go further to the outer scale, which is, again, very legible and just perfect. Military time on the inner dial. We talked about the logo already. It's a quartz, and all of these are using an ETA quartz movement running at 32,768 cycles, if you care. You don't. Neither do I. It's an ETA quartz movement. But Japanese quartz movements are so insane. They're all really good. And I have a good balance of autos in my collection now, cast members for the project, and quartz. I got to tell you, I like the quartz too. Yeah, they're simple. They don't have the soul of an automatic, but man, low maintenance and they're always running. Well, not always. I have replaced the battery in this one already, come to think of it. And these are sapphire coated crystals. I think every watch on the table has that. Sapphire coated crystals. Not sapphire, but sapphire coated. And I think it even says it on the case back on some of these. Now the Attitude, look at this. It's not the shiny case back as on these other ones. So that's kind of diff. Which is surprising because these are more expensive. What did I pay for these Attitudes? I want to say this one was around 180. It was more expensive. I had to go to Europe for this variation. I ordered it from, I forget the country. It might have been France or England that it came from. It might be a European only variation, this one right here. I really love the red seconds hand. Polished case, satin sides, short lugs, logo crown. We're just lacking that high polished case back. And you can probably see right there, sapphire coated. There it is right here on this one, sapphire coated crystal. 1040.10. I do like how Wengerr does that. They'll put legibly the model number. Got to keep moving, so much to talk about. And here's this one right here. So this is also an Attitude. And notice those straps. They are red stitched calfskin lined. 22 millimeter again. Polished clasp with logo on it. I really like these straps. I do. They're excellent. I have ran this on a silicone strap. I dove with this one. Now this one here has the shiny hands on it. So notice the hands here are blackened, shiny. Again, with my own preference, I don't like the shiny hands. I like this one best. On the good side, the date on both of them is pretty excellent and legible, which I can't say for everything. Notice the difference in markings between the two variations. It's pretty interesting. So if you like a finer graduation, more detailed appearance, different typeface on the Arabic numerals, this is different. This is again model number 30341. Between these two, they're both excellent. I would barely prefer this one. I really love the numerals on this one. This one is a little bit small for me. I'm more and more, like I said in some other WRVs, shying away from tiny watches. I didn't tell you the size on this, but it's 40 millimeters across, 9 millimeters in thickness, 47.5 lug to lug, which for most of you guys, you'll like a lot. My wrist is a 7 3/4 inch wrist. I always felt like I had skinny wrists, but actually they're bigger than most, I guess. And this is not a Wenger, it's actually an Amont, not sure how you say that, Rotterdam. Love this watch. This is sick. So I think the typeface, or not the typeface, but the width on that one is like, I want to say like 44 millimeters. It looks bigger than it is. So if we put this against this one, this actually illustrates my point with what I'm talking about. I like this size better just for me. For motorcycling and when I have to go under a cuff, this is ideal. So it's a really good low profile watch if that's what you're after. Or if your wrist size is like 6.5, 6 3/4, this would run a lot better than a bigger watch like that. Really cool case on this one. Again, this is a standard issue XL, which I think is hilarious because it's pretty small. 40 millimeters across, 9 by 47.5. 20 millimeter lugs on this. Look at the polishing on the case. Crown. Remember, this is basically a $52 watch. I didn't know if I mentioned that one to you. And I did tweet this out. You should subscribe to my Twitter account. That's free. There's the model number 73115. I hope it's still around. 2.2 ounces, $52 for a Swiss watch. Sapphire coated crystal. Excellent case work, brushed on the side. Now I do say I don't like shiny markers. I don't. But for some reason it really works in this watch because you have the polished raised bezel here. So it kind of thematically goes with it. Military time on the inner dial, since these are all basically field watches. In fact, I should probably name this video something along that. So Wenger field watches, Extravaganza. And then we'll go to this one right here. I started off 72783, the Terragraph. Man, that's a cool name. Really cool name. And it's got more of those traditional pilot hands on there, which are my favorite handset. The only thing is on the hour hand, we have a little bit of a syringe effect going on, which I generally don't like. I'm talking like we have a pointed tip on it. I know, it's just crazy. I'm just crazy that way. I'm particular. Black seconds hand against a cream colored face is ideal. You can actually read it. We have texturing in this one too. I'll hold it still so you can see it. Swiss cross. We have shiny black numerals in this one, the Terragraph. Super legibility, really good. Even with the white hands, you would think, well, the white hands, you can't see it, but they're outlined in black. I think it works great. Perfect markings, great Arabic numerals. We'll look at the illumination. If I remember, there's your case back. I think I showed that to you. Love their case back. Screw-in case backs are so excellent. They're easy to replace a battery. I just keep a collection of batteries in a container that I have from Amazon. Let's look at this strap. This is one of my favorite Wenger straps because it's so comfortable. Composite between leather, olive drab nylon, or maybe that's brown nylon. Either way, it's super comfortable. Where will these watches end up? That's a good question. I will probably give some away to Patreon members. I do at least 5 giveaways per month, watches and knives. If you're in the state of Utah, I'll probably throw a gun in there once in a while. If you are outside the state of Utah, I'm not doing the gun giveaways. Too expensive, too time consuming. Sorry, not gonna happen. Let's put them on the wrist and we'll talk about the straps more. This is the standard issue XL. I'm not going to buckle them up so we can just cycle through them quick. This is what it looks like on my wrist. 7 3/4 inches if I remember. It looks bigger than it says in its diameter, right? So 40 mil. It looks like it would be a bigger watch. Love the red seconds hand on that. Super excellent. Wenger Attitude. Oh, that's more of my liking right there. I like that bigger typeface, thin bezel. Leather strap. I'll just kind of crank this one on so you can get a feel for it. I did have to drill another hole in here to get it to size to my wrist properly. Super easy to swap the straps out on these, of course. Say in comment which one you like between these two. So it's going to be hard for you guys to remember, but this one right here is this one's a 1541. I'm getting it all screwed up. This is a 0341. This is a 1541. Sorry about that. And then here's the military field in blue. 41 millimeters across, 10 by 48 lug to lug, if I didn't say so. Contrasted white stitching on a somewhat shiny leather strap. Oh, that is a good looking watch. $100, dudes, for Swiss watch. Mostly Swiss. This might be my favorite one out of the bunch on the table these days. I will say this though. I bounce between my favorites. Do you guys do that in your watch collection? I may wear this and for whatever reason I get turned off on it. I was like, I don't know if I like that anymore. Fast forward like 4 months and now that's my favorite. And it just kind of jumps around. It's kind of weird. I don't know if you guys are that way too. So be patient if for whatever reason you start disliking one of your watches. If you give it some time, you may find yourself coming back to it and go, I actually like that watch. I don't know what I was thinking. Are women like that with their shoes? Who knows? This one is the Urban Classic, 41 by 10 by 48 millimeters. Oh, that's a good looking watch. This is one that could function as a dress watch, a daily wear watch. Kind of have simulated alligator, dark brown leather strap, no contrasted stitching, polished clasp, and double keepers. Really nice strap.